$0. That's what my Etsy shop made this year. And I know what you're thinking. She is about to tell me to quit. I'm not. Because somewhere between the 0 sales and the spreadsheets and the one tiny eBay listing that sold, I figured out what I'm actually building, and that changes everything. Hi, I'm Brooke, the photographer and watercolor artist behind the BM Edit. I sell coastal bird photography and original watercolor on Etsy, and I'm building towards wholesale and Faire, and eventually working towards local markets as well. And I know that sounds a little bit backwards. Why wouldn't you start with local markets before trying wholesale? Sometimes I work a little backwards sometimes. We're just trying to figure out what avenue works best for my business. I started this business because I was already making art and taking photos that I loved. And I was like, why is this not paying for itself? I feel like this is probably something any creative has thought of. You make so much art, people look at it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I love your art. I wish you would sell it. And then you start selling it and nothing. One thing I didn't expect was how long the groundwork takes. And today, I'll show you what 1 year actually looked like. Not the highlight reel, the real version. For most of the year, I was doing what every creator advice video tells you to do. Post consistently. Show up every day. Build your audience. So I did. A TikTok here, Instagram post there, a random YouTube upload whenever inspiration hit. And one of the things I really was more consistent about was those TikTok videos, because that was my main platform. I treated Instagram as an afterthought. I barely posted on there, mainly because Instagram's upload process always took 7,000 years. And I would post consistently on YouTube and then ghost it for months. And I was always just reposting those TikToks I made on YouTube, but they would always be posted 3 to 4 months late because I just never thought about it. I never really cared to monetize or to capitalize on YouTube, and that I think was one of my mistakes. But anyway, nothing with all that posting I was doing, nothing was clicking. Not because the advice was wrong, but because I hadn't figured out what I was building. A lot of my posts I was making were very random. They weren't pointed towards anything. I wasn't building a community. I was just posting things I thought were pretty, little bits of my art process, stuff like that, but nothing that really garnered a following. Nothing that made people think, hey, I'd like to see where her content ends up, or I'd like to see her process more. I was creating content before I gave people a reason to follow me. That's what nobody tells you. Consistency only works when you know what you're consistent about. In March, I challenged myself to post every day. Not just every day, only on TikTok. Post every day on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And actually, you can watch my video of my content breakdown here. And it was actually a really great time, and I enjoyed it. I feel like it gave me a lot of insights, and it started giving me that constant growth I was looking for building my following. And sitting here right now, it is April 15th when I'm filming this, and from the beginning of March to now, my YouTube following went from 50 followers to 150 followers. I think I've gained about 50 TikTok followers as well in this time frame. Only about 6 Instagram followers, but that's okay. But something shifted during that month, as I've already said. Not in sales, still haven't made that shift with my sales yet, but the signal changed. I started seeing which content made people stop scrolling, which is one of the things I highlighted in my March content recap video, which you should totally go check out. And I got to see which topics got the comments, which pieces of art made people just really stop. And that's the data. For my tiny one-woman business, the data is more than just a good month of sales. It tells you what to double down on. And so that kind of helped me figure out what content people want to see, what art people may want to see more of. I just am slowly trying to work towards capitalizing on that. Here's a small thing that hit different than I expected. I listed 12 original ACEOs on eBay. Tiny 2.5 by 3.5 inch paintings. And at this time, ACEOs were flooding my For You page. I was like, okay, this is a great way to make a couple extra bucks, get people more aware of my art, things like that. And remember, 12 ACEOs. I listed. Granted, those are rookie numbers compared to what some people list, but just seeing about trying something out, see if it's something I want to continue long term. Listed 12, one sold. Just one. And I almost dismissed it, but then I stopped and thought, a stranger found my art on the internet and thought it was worth spending money on. That's not nothing. It's proof of concept. It stopped being a question if people would buy my art and became a question of which products and at which price points through which channels. And that one sale has reframed my thought process recently. One of the biggest mental shifts came when I stopped thinking of each painting as just a single thing to sell. Just a single piece of art, sell it, paint another one, sell that one, and the process goes on and on. But doing that, you would start feeling very burnt out because you're just painting endlessly. So a painting becomes a print. A print can become a greeting card. A card can become a stationery set. And a stationery set can sit on a boutique shelf. And all of this I can sell wholesale on Faire. Primarily the greeting cards, stationery sets, stuff like that. And that's what I'm starting to try to lean into. I am building a set of greeting cards that I am looking to sell on Faire once I finish getting approved. Hopefully that happens soon. And I can't wait to maybe see my art on a shelf of a store near me or somewhere on the complete other side of the United States. Regardless, I cannot wait to see what works. And once I start selling on Faire, I will probably open that up to sell the same products on my Etsy account if that's something that you would be interested in. These are so I've got some mock-ups of the greeting cards that I am working towards selling. But basically, one painting, one image can become multiple revenue paths. So I'm not just having to worry about selling my original on like Etsy or direct to consumer through like markets and stuff like that. I can also sell greeting cards. I can sell notebooks, stickers, stuff like that. I actually have a sticker available. It's really cute and it's created from one of my watercolor paintings. I got accepted to Faire recently and that felt significant. Not because I have made any wholesale sales yet. In fact, I'm still waiting for my shop with Faire to open. But it just means the infrastructure is there and I have a chance to make those wholesale sales soon, hopefully, and spread my art in the form of greeting cards and stickers and stuff like that all across the country and maybe eventually worldwide. We'll see. The goal for this whole process is an ecosystem. Use Etsy for digital downloads and prints and occasionally some originals. I have some originals listed right now of my bird series, ACEOs. And then Faire for wholesale. Get my products in businesses, boutiques, stuff like that. And then direct to consumer sales for my original art and maybe even my greeting cards and stickers that I'm selling elsewhere. Eventually, I would love to start doing local markets. That's my goal towards the end of summer and the beginning of fall. And just meeting local people on the Gulf Coast who enjoy this region and the wildlife in this region as much as I do. Okay, so we have to talk about spreadsheets. I am completely, unironically in my spreadsheet era. Now, granted, I have a marketing degree from Ole Miss and an MBA, so let's be real, I have played around with spreadsheets for years, and I'm one of those people that absolutely loves them. I know, it sounds crazy. I don't think I've ever met very many people that are like, I love spreadsheets. I use spreadsheets, I don't want to say daily, but lately with building my business, I have used spreadsheets daily. But one of the things I've been building on is a comprehensive spreadsheet tracking everything for my business. Every sale and every channel, all of my products, my inventory, my expenses, even getting ready for tax season next year. So basically anything you could possibly think you may need to run your small business, I am probably trying to build it into a spreadsheet. Here's the thing, I actually really love this part. I haven't been focusing as much on it recently. I've been trying to get other things fleshed out a little bit better and putting that on the back burner, and just currently using the multiple spreadsheets I have right now. And that's why I'm trying to build this mega spreadsheet that covers everything for your business, because it's no fun having to switch between 7 different spreadsheets to get what you need done. What works is the thing that doesn't make you feel like you have the time, and the thing that doesn't create errors. You want to make sure you have something that you put the order in and it adds it to your product sold, deducts it from your inventory, and goes ahead and creates a section in your taxes for 2026 or for obviously your next tax year. And that's what I'm working towards. It's been a slow process getting everything figured out, but I'm working towards it. And it's one of my favorite parts. Because let's be real, a business without a system isn't 100% a business yet. It's a hobby that occasionally makes money. Now, granted, my hobby has yet to make money. Well, it made about 99 cents. But I want to build something that scales. And that means knowing your numbers before the numbers get big, because that can help you plan for when that happens. But honestly, once I get the spreadsheet fleshed out and I realize exactly how useful it is, I may actually think about turning it into a digital product for other artists, other creatives, other people that sell with multiple channels. So stay tuned and you may be able to purchase this spreadsheet. From the outside, this year probably doesn't look like much. No viral product, no sold out launch, no revenue milestone to screenshot. But here's what I actually have built. A community of people who genuinely respond to my art and my process. A product ecosystem with real legs, photography downloads, watercolor prints, stickers, and more in the pipeline. A business infrastructure. Tracking, pricing, platforms, systems, things that can actually handle growth when the time comes. And honestly, I have found a much clearer sense of what the BM edit really is. It's coastal. It's the Gulf. It's the birds I love watching. It's watercolor and light in the particular color of the Mississippi Sound at golden hour. That's the business I'm building. And at $0, that's the cost of figuring it all out. And let's be real, I'd pay it again. If you're somewhere in the beginning of your creative business, the messy, slow, it's not working yet phase, I hope this was useful. Not because I have figured it out, but because I think it helps to see someone building in real time. Subscribe if you want to follow along. I share the birding adventures, the watercolor process, and yes, probably more spreadsheet content than you've asked for, although that hasn't come yet. Come find me on Instagram and TikTok at the BM Edit, and you can read the stories behind these videos before the videos come out on my Substack. It is linked in the description, and the newsletter is called Art Solopreneur Confessions. Until next time, stay creative. We're building something real.